Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is with Dr. CPoe, and the title of the show this morning is Christian Living and Self-Esteem. And of course, we have Dr. Poe. We've had Dr. Poe with us on a number of occasions. And Dr. Poe, I don't think that there's any way that we can introduce you to this particular audience, because you've been with us many times over and over again, and each time you bring us such excellent information. But now what we'd like to do today is to talk about, first, give some information about your background, education, that kind of information. But the topic this morning, Christian living and self-esteem, we want you to sort of lay that out to us after you give us a little information about your background and some of the things that were important in terms of bringing you to us with dealing with this specific topic.
Well, I've been a psychiatrist now since 1970. I'm also a ordained minister and former pastor of 2 churches here in Nashville. And currently I'm the associate minister of Christ Miracle Chapel located in Laverne, Tennessee. I'm also in a part-time private practice in Dixon, Tennessee, and a graduate of Maharrah, graduate of Tennessee State University. And I've practiced in different settings over a period of 39 years, and I've become aware of just how widespread the problem of low self-esteem and very low self-esteem is. And so I've developed an interest in seeing the connection between Christian living and problems with self-esteem.
Very good. And of course, the topic today is Christian living and self-esteem. Let's look at some of the things that you consider to be important in terms of opening our audience up to this idea of Christian living and self-esteem, because it seems to me that you've somehow connected Christian living with self-esteem, that there might be a great possibility if you become involved in a certain kind of lifestyle, Christian living, and it might go on and explain some of that to us. That seems to me what it leads to.
Well, that's quite correct. Dr. Haney, the problem of not feeling good about oneself is a very widespread problem in most age groups, among youth, among teenagers, among young adults, among middle-aged adults, and even many elderly adults. And this problem of not feeling good about oneself is a very central problem and has so many different negative manifestations. For example, if I don't feel good about myself, most likely I will begin to make choices designed to help me to feel good about myself, and most often the choices I make will end up increasing my problem of not feeling good about myself. For example, persons who have low and very low self-esteem are more prone to get involved in alcoholic beverages. They're more prone to use drugs. They're more prone to engage in sexual activity before and outside of marriage. They're more prone to overeat. They're more prone to smoke. They're more prone to be hostile in their attitude and in their actions towards other people. And so low self-esteem and its many manifestations is a major problem in our society today.
It looks that way, which is to say that most of the things that you're talking about, and I think you've already characterized these as negative kinds of things that folks can become, and go on and explain and deal with that.
Yes, and I think that it's important that we recognize that there are signs, there are symptoms of low self-esteem. For example, persons who are constantly complaining often have low self-esteem. Persons who remain in an abusive relationship often have low self-esteem. Persons who abuse other people mentally and physically, and of course sexually, have low self-esteem. There are many other signs of low self-esteem. For example, depression often is a sign of low self-esteem. Panic attacks, often a sign of low self-esteem. In some cases, insomnia can be a sign of low self-esteem. Craving excitement, craving pleasure is often a sign of low self-esteem. The persistent use or the habitual use of profanity often is a sign of low self-esteem. So showing off, okay, bragging on oneself.
Okay. And so, Dr. Poe, let's get ready for this first commercial break. But I think that over the last 25 or 30 seconds, we can simply say, and I think you said it correctly the first time around, is that many people have problems in terms of low self-esteem. But I don't think that many people recognize these problems as problems of low self-esteem. They just, those are the things that they live with.
Yes.
And what you're saying is that the overwhelming majority of folks that we might know might live with low self-esteem, and it is really a problem in our society today. And so we're going to talk about how you see it from that perspective, Dr. Poe, during the second segment. And we'll be back with you following this second commercial break. We're talking to Dr. CPoe.